Hello, everybody. Welcome back at the Hollywood Art and Movie Awards for the next panel. And this one is going to be about short film. And this is the international category. And this is one of the best categories we have because this is the place we have movies from everywhere. And I'm wondering where are the people right now? They are right here. Hello, everybody. How are you doing?
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Cool. That's gonna be cool. Perfect. So we're gonna make it very simple. First of all, everybody's gonna say where you are. Don't tell me you are in a coffee shop or anything like that. I want to know the city and the country you are in, so we can figure if it's international or if it's only American right now. And Quinisia, where are you?
I'm currently in Meridian, Mississippi.
Okay, cool. What's your movie? The title, the genre, and maybe just the title and the genre.
Okay, so the title of it is called Confess, and it's a psychological thriller.
Okay, excellent. Sophia and Claire, what about you? Where are you, and what's the title and the genre of the film?
We're in LA, Los Angeles, California, and the title of the film is "This Is How I Lost My Virginity," and this isn't a genre, but it's her story, so it's not really a genre, in our opinion.
We're gonna get into that because it's one of my question for that film actually. Shaquille, where are you? What's the title of your film? And I mean, we do. Go ahead. Where are
I'm
you?
in
And what's
Los Angeles. I'm in Los Angeles, California, and the title is called Confess, and the genre is a psychological thriller.
so what I'm gonna do is this. So you are next to your colleague because you are from the same film. Okay, Brett and Bonnie.
Hey, so we're underneath the Hollywood Sign on Beechwood Canyon in Hollywood.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. The movie.
Yeah,
Oh, and our film is Coffee of the Exes, a comedy.
it's a comedy short. It's fun. I'm producer,
Comedy short.
director. Yeah.
Okay, Joe, your turn.
Hi, my name's Joe. I'm in Los Angeles County area in California, and my film is Fugitive Zero. It's an action thriller.
Okay, excellent. Henry.
Hi, I'm in New Orleans, Louisiana, and my film is called Prayer for the People, and it is a drama.
Okay, good. So we have Los Angeles mostly, and Mississippi and Louisiana. So a little bit of the South, and a lot of the West. Okay, so you're gonna tell me what's your pitch about. So we have genre films, we have a comedy, we have something in between in the middle, we have an action film. Just tell me the pitch of your film if you had to sum it up in a couple sentences so people can just get a feel of what it's about. And Quanisia, what about it?
So I'm with Shaquille Reed. We created the film together, and he created the story. We both wrote it together, and it is about siblings going out of town, and they're in this Airbnb, and some weird things start happening once a book shows up. It it forces them to confess their truths in order for them to get out of the Airbnb. So they're locked in until they have to say all of their dirty truths to each other. And the sister is the one who has a huge secret that basically changed her brother's life and took a life.
Okay, I like it. Shaquille, what about you? Can you, on your perspective, I guess you're going to say you agree with her, but on your perspective, how would you sum up the movie?
Yeah, I agree with her. I would just sum it up as a film that you have to deal with your mind. I believe that most of the time in life that we have a thing that we deal with is our imagination, our mind, and we can get tripled by that. So in my film, until you face the reality within your mind, that's only how you advance. So everything she said, I just piggyback on. I just add in there. It's just that you have to move forward in life when you deal with what's in your mind. That's about it.
Okay, so who directed the movie?
I did.
He directed,
Okay,
I assisted.
okay, like it. Sophia and Claire, how would
Hey.
you pitch the film? That's not easy with your film.
Mm, okay, so I directed and we wrote and she starred. As sort of we referenced earlier, this is her story. Actually, she um went missing and where she was kidnapped, and it's a story that really explores a lot of sexual understandings that are gender related, and how everyone, I believe it's how everyone understands the sexual game. I'm going to take it to you because it's her story.
Yeah, Sophia, go for it.
It's so hard to say without crying. Yeah, when I was 16, I was taken from my house and I was gone for 3 days. And it's a short film about that experience. This is like the first time I'm ever talking about it. Like I never talked to my parents about it, nobody. So it's
Damn.
all part of the roller coaster of just even trying to like open up about it, accept it,
speak it even.
Yeah, and be empowered by it, you know?
Okay, I get it. I get it. We're gonna come back to it because it's a true story. It's always pretty specific to go down that route. Brett and Bonnie, your turn.
Yeah.
That's our daughter's name.
Go for
it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Copy of Exes was written by our partner in crime, Jessica Bishop, who's a phenomenal actress, and I'll let Bonnie talk about it.
Yeah, she's a phenomenal actress, writer, and she brought the script to Brett specifically, and of course he's done a lot of action thriller stuff, so he obliged her, and they did a fantastic job. But yeah, it's a female-driven script that basically focuses on a woman going to this coffee shop and meeting up with all her exes. So there's the frenemies ex, there's the here's your shit back ex, there's all these different exes that she's coming to terms with, and in doing so she understands more about herself, and at the end there's a conclusion. I don't want to give it away, but there's a conclusion that she finds even more about herself. That do you really need anyone else?
Right.
Are you good enough by yourself? Right?
The story shifts from codependence to independence and finding love for yourself.
Okay, who directed it?
I did.
You did. Okay.
Guilty.
Joe, can you pitch us the Fugitive Zero?
Yes, my story is about an escaped convict who discovers he's taking part in a live simulation where every moral decision determines his eligibility for parole. And the person who ultimately decides his freedom is the mother of the victim that he killed.
Okay, that's a pretty straightforward pitch. I like it. Henry, your turn.
Hi, my name's Henry Frost, and I wrote and directed Prayer for the People. Prayer for the People is about a boy, Jojo. Jojo goes out to celebrate his 21st birthday on Bourbon Street, and he gets caught in the middle of an altercation between a street preacher and a drag queen, which leaves his life in the hands of the law. I was inspired to write a religious-based short film, so I pretty much went out, bought a Bible, and started writing from there. And it's pretty much about how religion can essentially
You're freezing a little bit.
war, and was kind of like the start of the separation of our world that we live in.
Okay, perfect. We're gonna go back to it because you've been freezing a little bit, at least on my
Oh,
end.
really?
But I get,
sorry.
yeah, I get the big pieces of it. So that's pretty cool. Is it a true story, Henry? Is it inspired by a true story?
It's inspired off of pretty much all of the African American people that have lost their lives to police brutality. I sat down with a good friend of mine, Eric Blanca, who has spoken openly to me about experiences he's been through and friends of his. And we came together and pretty much put together a film based on that to just shed light on everything.
Okay. Girls, Sophia and Claire, yours is a true story. And Sophia, you started to explain that it was a process for you to kind of start talking about it and speaking out of the real kidnapping you've been the victim of. That must be quite strong, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, just from beginning to end, it's my first film ever. Like, I've never created anything. And I've been an actor for a really long time. And my mentor, which is also her mom, Ivana Chubik, she just told me, you got to do this, you know, like the only way, the only way that I've ever found healing in my life is whenever I put it into my art. So she's like, why not just do the same with this, you know, because I struggle with just being a woman, like just
this is how she told her or this is how she told her family about what happened. I called her a missing person because everyone thought she was missing. There's news articles about it, like she was a missing person, but there's so much shame. But so much shame in the things that happen to women that people don't talk about it. And it's a story. So many people that we've told and have showed this to, or even spoken about it, have had this happen to them. And this is a very common way for women, maybe not the kidnapping part, but rape is a very common way for women to lose their virginity. And that is upsetting. And this is supposed to show in a very extreme way, which is really her life, how horrible that is.
But at the same time, it really taught me how to fight that darkness, that stuff that was really keeping me down.
Yeah.
You know, and we did it together. It brought us so close together. Like, you know, and just to be able to put it somewhere and then just to find out that there's so many other people, you know, like through conversations and things like that, we've connected with so many people. And
if I may, when did these events happen in real life? When was that?
I was 16.
So like it was I think 8
How long ago?
From the day
8 years ago
that we started writing it. So it was April 1st.
Okay. And the movie is from 2020. You made it in 2020 or 2019?
We made it. It went over the course, honestly, of 2 years because we work with children as well. So it's a love. This is a passion art project, and you do that in the time that you have. So it took 2 years to do.
Okay, I'm gonna switch to Brett and Bonnie right now. This is completely different. This is a comedy, but I guess because in a way we all have a list of exes or a list of people we would like to make fun of, or a list of people that we have something to say about them. What's real in the movie and what's not, and what's the script?
Wow. Speaking for Jess, I think that art imitated a little bit of life in it. Would you say?
Until she's now with the love of her life, which is wonderful. But this definitely reflects what she had been through in her life. So yeah.
And she's able to look at it with her typical lovely personality and celebrate it. You know, I think actually so necessity is the mother of all inventions. We had to reschedule it 3 times because of locations can be a nightmare in LA. My father passed away. And because of that, we had to change casts. We had to change crew. And I think it actually became a better film because of it. We actually finished filming last year at this time. And I think last minute, we actually cast one of her exes.
Yeah, so literally one of her exes. We're not going to say anything. But she knows a lot of people, and there's some great actors in it. You know,
phenomenal ensemble cast. Yeah,
really great cast to work with. And yeah, so like I said, it was a fun project. I did the music as well. I'm a composer, so it was fun to kind of take some of these compositional ideas musically and add them. But yeah, I Jess is couldn't be here today, but she really did, I think, encompass that quirky girl trying to figure out who she is and where's her place, and like I said at the end, I think she bookends it really well. And I think Brett also did that.
Yeah. And when she first came to me, I wasn't so sure I was the right director for it because my first film was described by Dan O'Bannon as, I have my reading glasses on, is stunningly photographed story of savage masculine sadism, completely the opposite, right?
Okay.
But I won awards with a lot of comedic commercials, and I did a show that was really quirky. So I wanted to, because I was very honored, because she's worked with some phenomenal directors, and they could have just had 2 cameras lock off on headshots and an establishing shot. And that's, it's going to be more.
I think she was right, because the movie is good. Simple as that. So I think she was right. Let's go to Joe. Joe, tell your film is a strong concept as an action film. This guy living in a real simulation that's going to affect the rest of his life. Is it for you? Was it a kind of a proof of concept in order to aim for feature film? That's how it felt to me when I watched the movie.
Yes, correct. Because I wrote the feature screenplay first, and then I won an award for it at LA Film Awards. I think it was like 2018. And I have a script writing coach who said, if you want to direct this, you need to make the short film version of it. So I extracted about 22 minutes from the feature screenplay and went ahead and raised the funds and used my own money as well to make the short a reality.
So you had a feature screenplay, and from that feature screenplay, you took a bite of it to have a short screenplay, and of that short screenplay, you financed your own short film.
Yes, correct. It's self-financed, but also we did a crowdfunding campaign. We raised about $12,000. We were successful in that. First time I've ever done that. And yeah, it was a lot of fun, because we filmed half of it first, and I went over budget, and I had to raise more funds to do the rest of it. So we filmed it over 2 separate segments. I think it was like 8 months apart, because we had to do the crowdfunding campaign right in the middle.
Okay, yeah. I didn't notice. Looking at the film, I didn't notice any breaking of continuity or anything like that. Good job. Let's go to Confess. Confess. We have Anquanisia and we have Shaquille. You said it was a genre film. When you watch it, it could be. I took it some sort of a ghost movie. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I would. I know, because I know for me at first I was like, what genre do we put this in? And then after studying and looking up a few things, I was like, okay, it has a little bit kind of supernatural stuff in it, a little bit of this and that. So psychological thriller was the best thing I feel like was set for it, because of the type of mind games that's inside of the movie, because it's a mind game basically. And the people aren't there. They think they're there. I feel like that was the best genre to put it, but there are a bunch of subgenres for it.
It's pretty mysterious, and it's the kind of movie you start watching it, and then you cannot really stop because you need to know what's going to happen next. So I really love that about it. Shaquille, what about you? You need to unmute yourself, Shaquille.
Okay, I did. No, I agree. When I wrote the film, I had just thought about how I had lost my grandma to cancer years ago, and I can always, just close my eyes and just picture her there. And I was like, that's what we do in human life. And as I started doing research on my character and everything, like writing my character, a lot of people that suffer with depression, it's some type of depression. It's not on top of my head that you hallucinate. So, and when I was writing the film, I was like, wow, I want the character to hallucinate and really see that something's there and then that is not, So I wanted to pay honor to that and show that people actually do deal with that in life. You could lose somebody and a lot can happen to you that you don't expect to happen when you lose somebody, and you will see things. So, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to have one question for everybody, and then we're going to try to, if you have guys questions for somebody else in the panel, that would be very interesting. We did that in the past days with the prepping on the panels for the festival. And sometimes it's very, very interesting to have questions from you guys to fellow filmmakers. So my last question is going to be, what would you say for the audience of the Hollywood Art and Movie Awards? Give them one reason, or two if you want, to get a ticket and to watch the film during the festival this weekend. Let's start with Henry.
Why should you watch my movie?
It's not easy.
I think this is my way of like letting everyone know how I feel about where we are in the world right now. I'm not very good at, speaking about religion and politics and, all of the things that kind of, can potentially separate us, separation of our world. And this is just like my political, religious based film of how I feel about all of this. It shows racism, sexism, all of these things that come from what everyone talks about, which is politics and religion. And I'm quite frankly tired of hearing about it. And look at me, I'm making a film about it.
Yeah, no, that's a good argument. It's like social issues are what we face every day. Everybody talks about it, and this is my film, and I hope this is going to help you.
Yeah,
very
and
good.
hopefully it sends a positive message to everyone. And
I think it is,
Yeah.
and that's also what I like with your film. It's not hammering you with problems only. It's also giving you a sense of positive perspective on everything that's happening right now. Brett and
Yes,
Bonnie,
for sure.
what would you say? What would you say to the audience so they come and watch your comedy?
I'll let my better half speak. I guarantee you she's probably going to say what I want to say.
We always do the same thing. If you want to watch something where you're entertained, you laugh, you can see yourself in some of the characters, and in the end, like I said, we're all on this quest, right, of finding yourself. But sometimes maybe you didn't need finding by someone else.
Sure.
Maybe you just needed to
find yourself. Yeah, and I'd like to add, honestly, like the last year's been rough for everybody. We didn't get a premiere because we literally finished 2 weeks before we went down a lockdown around March 15th. And I think this is a great escape from the pandemic. It's been fun to see people respond to it and kind of go back to it and just have like we were hearing prior, is a little levity because we're kind of getting tired of the negative world that we're kind of trapped in right now.
Yeah.
You to laugh at.
Yeah. Movies are an escape, and a great comedy and a funny comedy we can relate to is always a good getaway for what's happening in our life. Shaquille and Quizia, how would you pitch and how would you invite the audience to watch a movie? What would you say to give them some envy to connect?
You want to go first?
You can go first.
Okay, so I would say if you want to obviously have an escape and laugh a little, cry a little, and really watch a film that shows you how your mind can take you either 2 steps forwards or 3 steps back. And this film is a perfect example of that because it shows how things you hold in really do take a hold on you. It really can control you based on things that have happened in your past and things that really just aren't sometimes good things to hold in. So letting things out is really good. And watching this film, it will, I'm pretty sure, encourage you to face those demons that you have that need to be faced.
Okay, Shaquille, your turn. You're not going to avoid it.
And to piggyback off of her, it's the same thing. I think what you can take away from this film is just that we all have something we deal with. And the moment that you hold on to it, the moment that you don't want to speak out, it really hinders you. And that's why I love the movie that the ladies did. It's a phenomenal movie about her being kidnapped, because you speaking that can change so many people's life. Like, I mean, so many women, and just not women, men also will be blessed by that story. So in our film, I just believe if you watch it, you will walk away like, man, I got to tell somebody I love them, or I did something wrong. Like, you got to talk to them. So I think that's what people can take away from the film.
I would just add that this film is also very entertaining. It's mysterious, and it's going to grab your attention from the beginning to the end. So that's you're not going to be bored at all at any time by this film.
Thank you.
Let's go to the girls, Sophia and Claire. So we get that it's a true story. It was a personal challenge. What makes it a good film for people to come together and watch? Okay, I'm gonna do this. It's better
my
if we hear.
answer is this: if you, the way that we've set up the game of attraction has I believe made it so that most people have either experienced, well, they have experienced rape in some form. So if you're a man, and I hate to put it along gender lines, but here we go, it's only 13 or 15 minutes. If you're a man, you've probably raped someone. If you don't know how, watch my movie. If you're a woman, I know that you'll relate to this because you've been touched in one of these ways. She experienced more than just one person, what, like, women have experienced more than one sort of advance. And I don't think rape is the right word, but it's the word we use. So that's why I think that, and the music is fire. It's original music. It's so good. We've won best soundtrack. It's poppin'. What's your answer?
It's hard because it's something that's just so personal to me, but I feel like it, for me, it just shined such a big light where it can happen to anybody at any age. I have a younger sister and she didn't know anything about it, and just to be able to sit down and share this with her, to just share it's something so new to me to just like share. But the biggest thing was just being able to speak, just kind of like with Coffee with Exes, just kind of like with Confess,
yeah.
Pray for the People, all of us, there's something that we need to say because it's suppressed us, and I didn't know how much it was actually weighing me down until I let it go.
Okay.
And talking about it is very new, like being with you guys is very new, but it's also part of it, and just figuring out, like, I connect with everybody here, because it relates to like what I went through, speaking up about it, loving yourself, knowing that you don't need anybody to like pull you through it.
All you need is art.
Yeah, I would say about this film, there's almost no upfront violence, visual violence into it. And the first time I watched the film, it was like, okay, it's a good film. And after watching the film, it came back to me like, well, wait, what did I just witness? What happened to this girl?
Yeah, it's supposed to be
And
sexy
so the
too,
movie, I just want to say, because some people are not going to watch these heavy dramas because they don't want now to watch these type of films, but it hit me after, which is I was able to, let's say, enjoy the film, and still it made me think about it later. Again, I'm a man, so
Yeah.
maybe on the female perspective is going to be different, but I just wanted to say that. Let's go to Joe. What would be the main reason for people to come to the Hollywood Art and Movie Awards and to watch your film?
The main reason for me would be if you want to see an exciting action thriller film with a lot of twists and turns, that's exactly how I designed it. I put $40,000 into this film. I got the right locations. I got the best cast. We've won 53 awards so far. And when people watch it, they are fully engaged because I wanted to create an experience like if you're on a roller coaster ride, there was nothing else you're going to focus on. There's a lot going on in this film. There's action. There's a mother who's grieving and trying to move on and trying to connect and see if she's going to pardon this guy who did this injustice to her son. And there's a push and pull from one person who wants her to sway her decision and the other who just wants the truth of this program, this simulation to work and roll it out in a way that will change the criminal justice system for the better. And I hope you watch it and get excited.
I like it. Perfect. Did we get everybody, or did I forget anyone? We're good. Everybody got his chance. Okay, so now is your turn. I'm gonna lay back and I'm gonna leave you guys ask some questions to each other. So you have a bunch of fellow filmmakers around you. What would you like to ask, and who would you like to ask? Now is your turn. I'm gonna open all the mics.
Okay, real quick, I have to go back to work.
Okay.
But is it a
Yeah,
way
it's 29
on
minutes.
the,
I forgot. You told me before 30 minutes.
Yeah, but on the website, I want to watch everyone film, so it will be on the site, right? Because I want to
All
pay
the
homage to
films
the
are
site.
going to be All the films are going to be right here on the Zerb platform. The festival is fully digital. All the films, you can already buy all the tickets you want. It's going to start on the 1st and go until the midnight on the 23rd. So let's say your movie is going to screen on the Saturday at 3 p.m. The movies are going to stay from Saturday 3 p.m. to Sunday midnight. From the moment the movie starts, then the block stays available. So you don't have to be right on time. You can come back a little bit later. Thank you. Thanks a lot,
Perfect,
Shaquille, for your
perfect. Okay, thank you
participation.
guys. Bye. Have a good one, everybody.
Bye. So who wants to ask a question to a fellow filmmaker? And Queenisia, start with you.
Oh, it's okay. So I have a question for Joe, if that's okay. If I'm not prying or like asking too much, what tactics or like ideas did y'all come up with to fund your project?
Okay, a question about money. How did you finance the film?
My own money, loans, credit cards, and then the crowdfunding campaign.
Gotcha. Okay.
And selling all my
Pretty- Pretty
How
straightforward.
much in the
Okay.
crowdfunding did you raise?
I raised $12,000, and I did it. I did all of this because I knew I had a good story. Because when people would read the screenplay, and then I would give them the short screenplay that I pulled out of the feature script. I mean, they were blown away. And the cast, once they came on board, I had a very selective cast where they only wanted to do things that would really forward their career and give them enough meat in terms of a performance. I mean, I have somebody who was from The Walking Dead in my film as well. And collectively, they've actually won about, I think, 16 awards out of those 53. And that just goes to show that, they want to be a part of something that was quality. And for me to put that much money into it, that's how much I believed in it. And it is a stepping stone for the feature film as well.
Very good.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Nice.
Okay, who wants to go next?
I
Joe.
have a question for Brett and Bonnie. What was your idea behind Coffee with X's? I mean, I've probably never heard of a film like that before. Someone just going back and talking to all their exes.
You know what? It's actually the writer Jessica Bishop who couldn't be here today. It was her idea. I think we went out for drinks was it Burbank or I don't know, Studio City, and she came in and she goes, "Hey, I wrote this script," and I'm like, "What is it?" And she goes,
Yeah.
"I don't know, but do you think Brett would direct it?" And I'm like, "Well, let me look at it." And she just had it out there. She goes, "I just had this idea." She had broken up with somebody or whatever, and she goes, just like going back and talking to all these exes that you've had 10 experiences with. And I was like, this is brilliant. This is great. And then of course what happens at the end, it had a poignant ending and had a moment. Because what's the point of going through anything unless you learn something from it?
Mhm.
The other thing that I thought was really cool was that it's a very diverse cast. Her life and her dating repertoire is also diverse. And so it really represented that. But I really liked that because I think in this world that we're in now, we need to see that on screen. We need to see diverse relationships, different people, men and women, women and men. We need to see these things. It's important.
And Bonnie, being a great executive producer, saw that this could lead to a possible feature like yourself. So when Jess brought it, I think there was probably about 3 more dates. That was like, Jess, there's no way we're gonna be able to shoot this in one night,
Too many dates.
right in the middle of the night.
She
my
really
hair.
had a lot of exes.
Yeah. Well,
Bar.
I don't know. She may have kind of played upon it. I don't know how many are based on truth, but there are quite a few. And on set, I said, we're not going to get through this night, and we're not going to finish this. And luckily, literally 30 minutes before we were kicked out, I said, we have to change something. We cut a character out, and we brought in somebody, and we were shooting outside as the sun was rising.
It was a one-night shoot. The whole thing was one night.
Yeah, I had to reformat my shot
one
list. So I
night.
had to throw out all the complicated setups and said, "Guess we're going to shoot the cameraman and you profile and knock it out," and we did. So
Yes, everything was nighttime.
it worked out
lights
perfect for
outside
us, and we're excited to get
Nice.
that crew and cast again because they're so talented. And like you were saying, Joe, when you got like those kind of talent, you just want to keep on building something with them,
We have a future.
Who wants to
Great.
go next?
Being worked on now.
I have a question, if you don't mind, just leading to some.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I did a 1-day shoot as well.
There you go.
So let's make a round table. So one night shoot for Brett and Bonnie, a 1-day shoot for Henry. For Confess, how many days and how long did you shoot?
Technically, we got everything done in one night except for the very beginning scene when I walk in the room singing. That was just that what we did that morning. So it's really almost one night, like a day, not even a half, like a day and 1 night in like 2 hours.
Okay.
Impressive, you guys.
Sophia and Claire, how many days, how many nights of
To be
shooting?
fair, we were going through a very emotional thing, so it was like the first time, so it took us a lot longer than everyone else.
Yeah. We shot
3
ours
days?
in 3
Not a bad thing.
days. Yeah, we wanted it. We had a big party scene, so that just had to be one night. We just had these very big setups,
Yeah.
so each
I
thing
learned,
needed
yeah.
its own day.
I learned you're not supposed to have a real party. This is my first directing thing. You're not supposed to really start,
This is good.
You're supposed to
Yeah.
learn something from everything, as we said.
Okay.
Everyone had
Joe,
a great
how
time.
Joe, how many days?
I had 5 days.
Okay, that sounds very little for the production value you have on screen. Yeah.
Well, it's
Okay.
because I storyboard everything, every single shot, and it's planned out so meticulously that we're just clockwork. And that's how we would run it. And I have the storyboards on set, and so everybody knows exactly where they're going.
A
And
good
I
prep,
wanted
a very
unique the result of that too. So we weren't debating while we're on set. Like we were just, it was go, 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 go.
doing it. Okay,
Storyboards.
let's go, guys. Shoot another question for your fellow filmmakers. What do you want to know?
Did we lose Henry?
Did we lose Henry?
He's gonna come back. It happens all the time when you take things like that.
I had a
It is
question.
gonna come back if he can.
Question for Sophia and Claire. Well, I think it's mainly for Sophia. How did this film, after it was released and then screened, how did it help heal you?
Well, we didn't even get our screening moment because of COVID. When we were ready to screen our movie, everything's just been now virtual and things like that. But we kind of just finished all of the recent edits, so we're very in the new phases of people seeing it. The festivals have been the first people to see it, and like I said, my family. But for me, it was just a different process because I had to just tell my story for the first time, and that within itself has just been such a practice. But I feel like my healing moment has really come. It was through the process of filming, and writing was a big part of it because I really had to sit down and come to a place of forgiveness and understanding for the person who did that to me. And you really had to put yourself in the other person's shoes. And that within itself was, that was like my Jesus moment where it was like, you really,
The love story too.
you really have to come to this forgiveness with like human beings and just really come to a place of understanding that we're all broken,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one follow-up question on that. Was it hard for you to really go through these events again by doing the film? Was it hard, or was it on the opposite, kind of a way to relieve the pressure out of it?
Well, we had a bunch of rehearsals. We had tons and tons of rehearsals. Like Claire was so hands-on with all the actors, every moment, every part of it, And at the beginning was so hard. Like it was just tons of crying, mostly just crying, and I would feel so bad for like my fellow scene partner, who
Especially in the makeout scenes at the
Yeah,
beginning. She
it
just
was
cried
just-
through them for so
it was
long.
so, but it was, like I said, it's just been a roller coaster of emotions, just kind of really going through it, but with people.
Yeah.
But everyone that worked on the film, they were all actors from our studio. They were all my friends. It was very intimate, very supportive. So when
Everyone
it came,
knew,
when it came to game day, I felt supported, and it was about not letting this person win anymore.
Yeah. Makes
you
sense.
know?
Makes total
So we
sense.
have to get through that scene. We're going to repeat all of this because I'm not going to let you win anymore.
Yep.
Okay. Any last question before we wrap? Anything else you guys want to know?
I just want to say something like, Sophia, I just give you your props for even doing this and going through this, because that alone shows your strength. And also you telling your family this way, that also shows your strength, because showing that film and being like, that actually happened to me, that's a lot by itself. And having to reveal that way alone, speaking up is a lot. And speaking up, having a visual representation of actually what happened, I just kudos to you, and
Thank you.
I just hope the best with you in your journey.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh, yeah.
Okay, guys, I want to thank you so much, every one of you, and even the one that were with us in the beginning and who lost connection. I just received a message from Henry. He says he's in the middle of Georgia with a bad service, and his story, he cannot conclude this with us. But it was very great to have you all for this panel for the Hollywood Art and Movie Awards. Once again, all the films are gonna screen sometime this weekend between Friday and Sunday. It's a digital festival, but it's a very good quality of films. I think we have no doubt now that the films you're going to watch this weekend are going to be great films and very different. We have action, we have comedy, we have drama, we have true story, we have some kind of fantastic movies with Confess. So every genre is represented, and I had a great time talking with you guys. And I wish you the best
So
of luck
excited.
for the
These films
competition.
seem
Good.
good.
Sorry, good films though. They all sound so
They
good.
sound
I'm
so
gonna go watch
good.
them.
I
Yes.
can't wait to watch
wait.
these.
Cool. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye guys.
Thank you. You
Bye-bye.
too.